Hello everybody, my name's Austin Tage 24 and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry. Currently spending, well, it'll probably take hours because my internet's crap! Yelling and pointing at the internet box. But right now I'm uploading the four video clips of the previous however many episodes to edit, and then all that will be done in a few hours. So I'm going to record possibly the finale, maybe, I don't know. Right about now, here we are, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, let's begin. The smoking room was filled with a cloud of cigarette smoke. The expensive smoke filter gave off some crackling electric noise, but it didn't seem like it was doing anything at all. Why do smokers have to be shoved so far down this corridor where the sun didn't even reach? I recalled hearing that the tax revenue from tobacco was about a tenth of the municipality revenue. Municipal. That doesn't sound right. Municipality. Municinary. That's a thing, right? I don't know. We were the most heavily taxed members of the municipality, so I really wish they'd show us a little more respect. Why would you discard the 5 manzu there? It's just decreasing your options. One of the younger detectives was having a staring contest with a mahjong magazine called Next Turn. Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, that's not a good sign, to say the least. Are we on the perspective of Oishi now? If the protagonist's role has shifted, that's not a good sign. Maybe? Oh no. I'm thinking Kaiichi took a wrong turn or something. Anyways. The next turn! The wrong turn! You're still in Tenpai if you cut the 5 manzu. You're being on a high tea, then shouldn't you be going into it with a mangan? Kuma-chan, look at the pond. They all discarded 5 manzu. It's a safe tile. Are these all mahjong terms? I don't know mahjong. I've heard of mahjong. I know of it, but I don't know how to play it. It was on that one episode of Chowder. Oh my god. Oh. It's old now. Oh no, I'm old. Oh, it's a cartoon I used to like. Back in my youth days. Was I a teen? When did that come out? I think I was still a kid, but I was an older kid. Not like back when Courage the Cowardly Dog and Dexter's Lab were about. Scooby-Doo reruns and Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes. That was my childhood. All the memories. There's something else I liked. Can't remember. It wasn't Powerpuff Girls, but yeah. Which I was ashamed to admit back then. Kind of like, I don't know why. I liked a few girly things. What's wrong with that? I'm still a man. It's okay for a man to like stuff like that, maybe. Well, okay. Maybe not a man. It'd be, it'd be okay for nostalgic reasons. I was a child back then. Whatever. I won't be ashamed. No, God. Anyways. Kuchella, you hated if at the end someone who was sitting on a tenpai on the last turn. Wouldn't you? The kid let out another groan and put out his cigarette, then took out another one. I just don't agree. Why would you reduce your own options? I can't even. Jesus, I can't even smoke an invisible cigarette. Oh my god. By the way, you can't call Ron with your winning title in that high. What is that? Just then I heard a voice coming from down the hall. Oh, is this us? Is this Kaiji? I guess I would just use my voice because that's what I've been doing this whole time. Are you here? She's on! Yeah! Oh. It's another police officer. But sure, we'll make him sound like that frantic. You have a call from a civilian! Wow, ain't that some? Well, see you soon. Why can't you call a Ron on it? Hold on for a second, Uishi-san. Man sitting in the seat Uishi-san was heading towards waved at the telephone receiver. Outside line from a payphone! Oh, I thank you. You don't have to shout everything, you know. I'm sorry, sir! Sorry, Jesus Christ, this guy. Sorry to keep you waiting. This is Oichi. Who is it? Oichi-san? Hello? Oh, this is my boss-san. Why? Good evening. From the tone of my Barakun's voice, I already knew he was in a predicament. This was the first time my Barakun had phoned me. Really? I feel like he did before. And this calling from a payphone. What a weirdo. Please calm down. Did something happen? Oh, well. His voice was erratic over the line. He had completely lost his sense of composure. After checking that nobody else could hear, I prompted him in a hushed tone. What happened? Calm down, my Bara-san. I can have the local officers head to your location. I'll be there soon, too, I guess. I think that's impossible. His voice was quivering and hoarse. He wasn't surrounded by people, even as he was making this call. Was he? My boss-son, you're calling from a payphone right now. Alright. Where is that payphone? There were no other sounds besides my Barakun's voice. It had to be a phone booth. I scratched out a note and thrust it at my colleague sitting across from me. Hinamizawa phone booth! He understood quickly and hastily started on the internal lines. Got it, sir! I'll be back right away! Shut up, you idiots! Just go again! Oh, Jesus, just put the trace of Jesus. Calm down, my Bara-san. What is your current situation? Usually it was a good idea to tell someone panicking to do so, but this was not a usual case. My Barakun didn't just get in trouble, get away, and then call me. He was in the midst of something dangerous right now. But yelling at my Barakun right now will just needlessly cause him to be even more frantic. My Barakun wasn't just calling to seek help. He was trying to tell us something more than that. And whatever that was, if I didn't get it from this call, I was certain there would never be another chance My colleague pushed a note in front of me. Here you go, sir! Shut up, you fool! There's only one booth in Hinamizawa. A patrol car is on the way. There's only one booth in Hinamizawa! I can read, you idiot! Shut up! I'm sorry, sir! A patrol car is on the way in 5 minutes! Oh my god, you imbecile! That's too long! How many officers are in there? 2! That's not enough! Jesus Christ! If it was as I imagined, there were likely quite a few people surrounding my Barakun. 5 minutes was too long. Did you call the officer stationed in Hinamizawa? He's scheduled to be on patrol, sir! They're currently out and it will be impossible to contact them, sir! God damn it! Come on, try and bring the car around! Understood, sir! Hello, Oishi-san! Oh, wait, that's... okay. Hello, Oishi-san! Hello! It's alright! I can hear you loud and clear. Ooh, I spit on the screen. Whoops. There was something wrong with my Barakun. That wasn't a normal coughing sound. Vomiting? Or was it... blood? Had he already been attacked? Was he injured? My boss and the police are on their way. They'll be there in a couple of minutes, so hold on somehow. Hello? Can you hear me? My boss on! I could hear on the other end of the line that he was having a coughing fit. Worst possible situation popped into my head. My Barson! Who is the culprit? How many are there? I thought first the culprit was human. I couldn't tell if I was a cough or vomiting. Are you alright, my Bara-san? I thought the culprit was a person and not Shiro-sama's curse. Up until right now. But I guess in the end. Oh god, I shouldn't have done an actual... Oh, that hurt. It was an intense bout of coughing. Then vomiting. So much so that I can taste blood in my own throat. That was weird. But I guess Shiro-sama does exist. Oh, whoops. But I guess Shiro-sama, he does exist. No, he's here. My boss, please, just calm down. I have been thinking it was strange for a while now. It's been following me this whole time. I run and run and run and run. It just sticks to me like my shadow. But slowly, so slowly, it's digging itself into my back. My Barson, are they right now? Perhaps right behind you. Behind me. Right behind me. Please, my Barson. I can tell you're scared. But please, who is it that's right behind you? I can't just look behind me. If I do, I understand that you're scared. But please tell me. You just need to turn around a bit. Who is it? Who is behind my marathon? Right after I said that, I could hear him vomiting intensely. What followed was a nightmare sound. My marathon! It couldn't be that you're clawing out your own throat! There was no answer, but I could hear something like scratching. Oh dear God. Ugh. Oh God. Oh no. Oh, don't even make me think about that. Oh, especially past few days, I've had this really itchy spot on the back of my head and my scalp. I've been itching it, blood and scabby. Oh my God! Don't remind me. Don't remind me of the itching. Don't. No. Stop it. Ugh. It's an unbearable itch. Gosh. Ugh. There was a bang as if something was being hit. My barcone had probably dropped the receiver. I could hear groaning and vomiting over on the other end. And a repeating abnormal noise. Hello! Hello! My barcone! Oh! I knew how. Don't vomit myself. I knew how far away my voice would sound on the other end. But I couldn't help but shout. At that moment I heard whispering coming from the other end. I couldn't tell what he was saying. From the way he was saying it, was he talking to himself, or was he talking to someone there? Hello! My bar's on! Rather than whispering, it was some kind of mantra he was chanting over and over. Folks, my senses trying to pick up what he was saying. What was he repeating? What exactly? Beep. Suddenly, the line went dead. Did he use up his time? It was because it was a payphone. God damn it! Ah! It's because it cut out so abruptly. Last what he said came out so clearly in my mind. Oishi-san, the car is good to go, sir! Oishi-san! It was... I'm sorry. Oishi-san! Sir! Sir! That's what he was repeating over and over. He said, I'm sorry. I had a gut feeling. There was no longer a need to hurry. I could hear the chirp of the Higurashi spilling in from the open window. Quee, 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 quee. I should have been able to hear them this entire time. I just wasn't paying any attention. Why did I focus on them all of a sudden? Quee, 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 quee. Were they trying to tell me something? Only the Higurashi knew. That's how I felt. Ooh, fade to black. Oh, damn, that was a long time ago. July 1983, in Hinamazawa, remote village near Shishibone City. There was a murder involving two females. Son of a bitch. Stop it! Pause! No! Shush! Calm yourself down, newscaster. In Hinamazawa, a remote village near Shishibone City, there was a murder involving two female students. The suspect is Kaiichi Maibara, aged 1. He's kind of young to be committing murder, isn't he? 1X, the suspect called over his two female classmates, Reina Ryugu, Mion Sonozaki, to his house and beat them to death with a metal bat. The scene of the crime was the suspect's room on the second floor of his house. The inside of the room was covered with a significant quantity of splattered blood, and there were no signs of a struggle with the victims. In addition to the scene of the crime, the entryway, living room, and kitchen all had traces of a struggle. At the entryway, the shoe rack and wall had evidence of being impacted by a strong blunt force. It is believed to have been the same bat as the murder weapon. Having no traces of blood, it is believed the destruction occurred before the murders. There is the possibility that the suspect overpowered his victims to keep them from fleeing. In the living room, the rug had been pulled back, then thrown aside. It is hard to believe that this had a connection to the struggle with the victims, and thus the reason for this remains unknown.
In the kitchen, the garage bag was torn apart and its contents were spread out onto the floor. Garbage was strewn about in the surrounding area, and handprints believed to belong to the suspect were discovered. It is believed that the suspect had for some reason taken out the garbage and struck it with his fists. The reason for this remains unknown. In addition, there was a note stuck to the fridge. The words, "Was there a needle?" were written on it. The meaning behind this remains unclear. Just in case the garbage was searched, but a needle was not discovered.
Trying to sound like an old-timey news report.
Though the garbage door was functional, it had been left open ever since the suspect moved in. The garage door was found closed. The suspect's fingerprints were discovered on the garage door. The reason behind this remains unknown.
Even holding my fist in front of my mouth to kind of make it sound a little muffled, like in the 1920s or 30s on the radio or something.
The suspect fled the scene of the crime. However, a patrolling officer, Hinamizawa, local PD, found the suspect collapsed inside a phone booth. At the time of discovery, the suspect was unconscious in critical condition. He was rushed to the local hospital for treatment, but did not regain consciousness and died 24 hours later. The result of the autopsy indicates the immediate cause of death to have been hypovolemic shock. It was determined that the suspect had clawed his own throat with his fingernails, and the resulting bleeding caused his death. With a similarity to the death of Tomitake-san the prior week, the police believe there to be a connection and have opened an investigation. However, due to the wishes of the local authorities, it will be a confidential investigation. Due to the abnormal nature of the death, it was Okay, it's not ready. Due to bastards! It's still out here! What the hell? What the hell?
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm just... Oh, God. What? It's doing this on its own. I didn't click auto or anything.
Due to the abnormal nature of the death, it was suspected that drugs were involved, but as with Tomitake-san, no traces were discovered. What prompted all this remains inexplicable. As such, this case is being treated as an act committed on impulse.
Okay, that's that.
However, with several accounts of the suspect's bizarre behavior leading up to the incident, it is possible that this was premeditated. Separated from his group of friends, isolated, inexplicable behavior. Several days before the incident, the suspect began carrying around a metal bat. The suspect was displaying aggressive behavior, as well as talking to himself at school. His classmates have actually heard portions of what he was saying. 2 days before the incident, the suspect declared to his parents the possibility of his death. Due to these circumstances, the police have begun an investigation on the possibility that this crime was not committed on impulse, but instead planned several days in advance. Afterwards, a note was found in the suspect's room that he had written himself. The note was written on 2 sheets from a B5 college rule handbook that had been torn in half, and he was trying to conceal it. It was stuck inside...
I'm getting a little lightheaded. And as if... Wait, no.
Shh, you're timing!
I think I caught it. It's doing that. It's gone a loop.
The note was written on 2 sheets from a B5 governor that had each torn in half, as if trying to conceal it was stuck hidden behind a clock on the wall. The contents are as written in the appendix. The police believe it to be strongly related to the incident. The police changed their line of investigation based on the possibility that the suspect was involved in some sort of incident himself. However, no further clues were found, casting doubt on the credibility of the note. Was the crime impulsive or premeditated? With the situation unclear, no further developments, the case has been labeled as unresolved. However, the following year, suspicion arose regarding the nature of the note. The note was not written on 2 halves of B5 paper from 2 separate sheets, but was originally a single sheet of B5 paper. In order to erase several lines from the middle, someone had torn them out.
Interesting.
Judging from the size of the letters, the missing section is estimated to be 2 to 3 lines. It is highly probable that the person who eliminated the lines in question is not the suspect. In addition, judging from the traces of large quantities of cellophane tape being stuck to the back of the clock, speculation that something other than the note was stuck there has arisen. Oh. The person who first discovered the crime was a detective rumored to have a connection with the incident. Calm down.
Jesus Christ! Okay, so I don't remember what those lines would be. Although, because the syringe is missing, I'm guessing it has to do with the syringe. And that would mean how Tomitake was killed. What else would be there? I don't remember. My memory just sucks. In addition to cellophane tape behind the stuck to all the clock separation, that's something. Oh, no, what's stuck there is the reason. The person who first discovered the crime was a detective rumored to have a connection with the incident. Corrado Oishi. He underwent a voluntary questioning but denies involvement in any damage to the note. The suspect's note. I, Kaiichi Maibara, am in fear for my life. I do not know why they are after my life. The only thing I do know is that it has to do with Oyashiro-sama's curse. Reida and Mion are conspirators are the perpetrators. There are 4 or 5 adults, maybe more. They have a white van. This is all on the first sheet. Everything below has been ripped off. Out. This is from the second sheet. Everything above this has been ripped out. I have no idea why it has become like this. If you are reading this, then I am probably already dead. Though the only difference may be the presence or lack of a body. You who are reading this, please uncover the truth. That is my only desire. Kaiichi Maibara, age 1, X. We kind of established how old he was, so I don't know why that's being censored. It was like 15 or 16, right? Because he was, or maybe 17. Because he was younger than Mion, who was 17 or 18. But he was still older. Let's see, if there's 3 grades in high school, rather than 4. 16 to 17 if he was in the 2nd grade. And then 15 to 16 maybe if he was in the 1st grade of high school. So yeah, at the youngest most likely, unless he was held back I suppose, be 15. The oldest would probably be 17. Somewhere around there. Assuming Mion is 18. He would have to be 17. If Mion was 17, then he'd probably be, again, 15 or 16. So I don't know why they censored. That was weird. Oh, God! Okay. Higurashi, when they cry. What? A new scenario has been... What now? What? What? A new scenario has been unlocked. All cast review session has been available. To play it, select extra on the title menu and then click on the... Please uncover the truth. Complete Onikakushi chapter. Interesting. Extras then? Is that what they were saying? Chapter jump? Return to extra screen. Tips, all cast review session. What does that mean? Ah! Okay.
Thank you for buying Higurashi When They Cry Oni Kakushi, a visual novel by 7th expansion. How was it? If you enjoyed it even a little bit, it would make me happy.
It was a little bit stretching it. That's incredibly dark ending made me angry, you know.
Made us angry. As I understand it, this Oni Kakushi chapter is supposed to be somewhat of a prologue to the entire series.
How could the prologue have such an incredibly dark ending?
Yeah, but doesn't that happen sometimes? The player digging through the story in order to avoid a bad ending is the point of these types of games, after all.
What?
It's still just the first chapter. I'm looking forward to the next one.
What happens in the next chapter? Reina, do you know?
Yeah, they said the next chapter will introduce another aspect of the story.
That's a strange way of putting it. What does that mean?
Been a while since I dug my little gremlin voice.
In this chapter, they introduced the string of mysterious deaths that were happening in Hinamizawa recently, right? The next chapter will introduce some of the history of Hinamizawa.
With one strange event happening after another, I got totally lost. What exactly is Oyashiro-sama's curse about? Actually, what is Oyashiro-sama to begin with? They didn't explain it much.
Apologies. All the switching around between voices. And I don't know why the voice I use for Oishi hurts my throat more than stretching my vocal cords for even the girl voices. Oh my god. Or even more than the gremlin voice. Jesus. I don't know why it's so hard. With my vocal cords.
I haven't heard much about it, but I have kind of a bad feeling about it. It feels like it'll be another one of those scary stories where somebody gets cursed again.
Tough luck, Kai-chan. What kind of curse is he gonna get hit with this time?
Oh dear god.
However, I am looking forward to seeing what kind of story is going to be.
Sorry for being late! My bad. Oh, Jesus Christ, everyone's here. Hey everybody, good work today. I think that was the voice I used.
Same to you. Huh? Where's Kai-chan?
Kai-chan is already off reading the script for the next chapter. Must be hard being the main character.
That's too bad. He could have at least poked in to say hello.
That's cheeky, because he doesn't have a model, maybe? That's cheeky.
It's probably because he doesn't have...
Oh my god! Rika's a mind reader! Or I am so... Oh my god.
It's probably because he doesn't have any character, so he couldn't poke his head in, even if he wanted to.
Rika-san, that's what we refer to as a personal problem. In any case, that story really was a lot of trouble, especially for Kaiichi-kun and Reina-chan.
Trevor, that was the mother of our bad ends.
I wonder... What was the identity of the thing that attacked Kaiichi-kun?
My theory is that it was the work of people made to look like a curse.
But at the end, Kaiichi made that phone call.
Yeah, I also thought that call was strange. At that point, Kai-chan should have been certain that the culprits were people.
It really was a strange phone call. It almost sounded like he was being chased by a ghost or something.
Oh, just from that phone call, it really makes me think that it was the work of a curse after all.
Since we're all here, why don't we all share our theories? Let's start with Sonozaki-san.
I absolutely believe it was people. I think it was a man-made incident that was just imitating the strange folklore floating around Hinamizawa.
Certainly. Every year on the day of the festival, for another link in the chain of mysterious deaths to happen certainly is suspicious.
That so-called chain of mysterious deaths is definitely somebody trying to reenact the folklore. Definitely.
I think it was the kids. Look at the scene where Kaiichi-san went berserk in the sanctuary. And the last year of the phone call, I just could come to the conclusion that a person was a culprit.
Oh, when you say it that way, it really wasn't the type of scene that would make you think it was the work of an actual person.
Jesus, Raina, with your long-winded. Yeah, but even then, I still think it was a person who did it. The last scene and the one with the entryway, I think it might have been a delusional episode brought about by the post-traumatic stress disorder.
I wouldn't know what's going on anymore, even if you didn't use such complicated words.
In other words, Kaiichi was so scared that he was imagining things.
Dun dun dun! What was the meaning behind the scene? What exactly was that mysterious presence behind Kaiichi?
A red herring. REDHERRING.
Mii-chan, what do you mean by a red herring?
Like old man Tomitake here said, that scene was the result of Kai-chan having a stress-induced delusion from being mentally cornered. To expand on that a bit further, it was a ploy to make the player think it was a curse. That's why it was a red herring.
Why'd you say it like that? Bye.
Well, it just means that there's that possibility.
In that case, the theory that Oishi-san proposed during the story that it was a conspiracy by the villagers was correct. What does the man himself have to say about that?
Me? That makes you think. I totally thought that Oishi-san would be behind the people explanation. During the story, I said it was definitely the work of people. But if a person really was to blame, that leaves a lot of loose ends.
Like what?
Jesus, she's so small next to it.
Let's hear what the Detective Oishi-san's theory is.
First of all, the human is the culprit. There has to be a motive. In other words, somebody has to gain something from it.
So what you mean is, if this was the work of people, there would have to be something gained from causing the chain of mysterious deaths.
Exactly. I felt that somebody could have benefited from the death of people related to the dam development, but the recent victims weren't related to that at all. First off, who benefits from killing Kaiichi? Keeping him quiet about the medicine. I see. If you say it like that, my case is kind of weak too.
I mean, none of your money was stolen. There's no way it was human culprits.
But that's not everything there is to it, right? Right? Like Mii-chan just said, there might have been some sort of reason for them to reenact the folklore.
Exactly. This wasn't a murder where you considered the typical motives. It makes me think that this was most likely some sort of ritualistic murder to reenact the blood-stained history of the village.
So I'll ask the question of the hour. Who gains from this reenactment?
Oh my god. I taste blood. If I knew this was gonna be a thing, I would have made it a separate episode. Oh my god. Work those muscles, work those muscles. It's not about simple benefit, it's a more psychological reason. I think that maybe this was an act of revenge, something native to the region. Voight was unable to be fooled this time around. I see. A member of some repressed family looking to air out an old grudge of their ancestors. Something like that. I don't like that.
Then what is it? It could be that you're leaning towards the curse explanation, Oishi-san.
That's right! The man playing Detective said so! It's decided it was a curse!
If I can go my Wara-san said during the story, it was a case of that Oyashiro-sama possessed Reina-san and Tonozaki-san and committed those acts. That would fit the evidence the most. As much as I hate to say it.
Actually, I'm of the same opinion as Zuishi-san. I can't come up with any other explanation for the normally kind Reina. And Michan to suddenly start acting strange like that.
About that, it may sound strange coming from the person herself. But I think that Mion, did it.
Where?
I don't get what Mia's saying. I like an explanation.
Oh, sorry. In other words, I think this may end up being a really cruel story.
Oh, wait, Michan. You don't mean...
You follow the trail of evidence to the very end, that's how it would seem. I also have my suspicions. In other words, Reina-san and Tonozaki-san both actually had those personalities to begin with, and were merely deceiving my Vara-san. Am I right?
I don't like that at all. This is other Curse's fault! Reina-san and Mia-san and their remains are kind. Those people!
I think that too. I think that Reina and Mion-chan are really good people at heart.
I can't remember if I voiced this before. I feel like I have. I feel like Reina is, and it's just a multiple personality thing. Possibly. If it isn't a curse, that seems the most likely answer for Reina. And like maybe Mion knows how to trigger it or something. And Mion, I think, especially because she reached out to Kaiichi at the last minute before, at the last school day, I mean. She was trying to reach out to him and get him to stop and come on, join the fold, so to speak. So if she is aware in doing this intentionally, if it isn't a curse, then she definitely did have Kaiichi's interests at heart and she wanted to protect him, but at the same time... Oh, I'm terribly sorry about that. It's really straining my throat. At the same time, it's a necessary evil, so to speak, I guess, or like or like a lawful good kind of evil, like, you know, like in stories, if you have an evil god or an evil angel or something, it's like the sacrifice of the few outweighs the many, right? So like she's trying to protect the village maybe and the people in the village, and while she's reaching out her hand to Kaiichi, she's going to do what is necessary to ensure the survival of the many over her friend, maybe. At least that's what I'm kind of thinking, if it wasn't a curse. That seems kind of the angle I would think of her personality and mindset, maybe? I'm not sure.
I think that during the story they definitely were possessed by something.
I also wanted to go into that little explanation to give my throat a little break.
So Reina also thinks it was a curse. Then let me ask everybody who thinks it was a curse. There has to be a reason for a curse, right? I don't think there would be something indiscriminately cursing everything. Can somebody explain that?
A curse is a curse. Human logic won't get us anywhere.
Satoka-chan, personified deity is, in the end, nothing more than the creation of people. That's why their method of thinking is also understandable to humans. Just take a look at the Greek pantheon. They cry, get angry, get jealous. Basically, they're just like humans.
Wow. Okay, so earlier that was a Jupiter reference, I guess. A Zeus reference. Because Jupiter is his Roman identity. Interesting that gets brought up here, of all places.
Oh, so what you're saying is that Oyashiro-sama is cursing people with some benefit in mind?
It's an odd way of putting it, but basically, yeah. That's why they say, far from Jupiter, far from his thunder. You do have a point.
Yeah, that thing.
Basically, it doesn't matter if it's Oyashiro-sama or a human. There has to be a reason.
But Rika, what if that reason isn't clear?
I don't know. Aha! That's right! This is still just the prologue. There's still a lot of stuff that hasn't been revealed yet.
Yeah. It's hard to come up with any more theories at this point.
No, I won't be satisfied until this is all made clear.
Mion-sama seems rather particular about this as well.
Ha 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 ha. We'll just make the best with what we know. Doesn't this feel interesting, like the club a little bit?
Ah, yeah. If you put it that way, it does seem interesting.
Oh my god, no.
Please stop. Well, then let's summarize. Let's see. I think it was a curse. Let's see. I think it was a curse. Tomitaka-kun thinks it was people, right? Yeah. I'll go with it being people.
I also agree with the people explanation. That's not to say I hate such fantastic things like curses. But in this particular case, the connection to a curse is a little weak.
Two for the people explanation then. Reina's side was on the curse side of things, right?
Yep, said Togo-chan, and I believe it was a curse. Right. Right.
Yeah, I think there's a curse. People say that Rena's and Mion-sama were evil to begin with, are more befitting of a curse.
Well, I don't want to believe that my own personality was that twisted. But I have to be cool when I'm in the club mode. If I base my choice on that just emotion, I'll regret it, you know.
Well, now, it doesn't really matter which side you pick, does it? Well, Rika-chan hasn't said anything yet. What do you think?
I don't think Oyashiro-sama is a bad god.
Huh? That's an interesting opinion.
I don't want to worship some bad god that just curses people. I'd like a generous god more than one that curses.
I need my water.
That's right, Rika-chan is a shrine maiden. Yep, good opinion.
Then what? If Rika-chan doesn't believe that it was Oyashiro-sama, then do you think perpetrators were humans after all? We'll just go with that.
It's very weird and curious that she's kind of playing in the middle of the road.
Well, now, that means the votes are split right down the middle. So half of us think it was a curse and half of us think it was people. Reina-chan, just for reference, what did the test players who played the beta version think?
Oh dear god. I don't know how old this game is.
Yeah. There were a lot more players who believed in the people explanation.
See, right there. Our veteran comrades are cool, collected, and very observant.
But the beta version only finished partway through the story. That's right. Even the people who play the beta might change their minds if they got through to the very end.
Oh dear God! Oh dear! Oh Yashiro-sama!
What should we do then? This means that the opinions are still split. It's no fun if we don't settle this.
We need there to be an odd number of judges, in other words. We need one more opinion. What about the blonde nurse lady?
Perfect timing then. Why don't we ask Kaiji-kun himself? Let's call him.
The opinion of the victim himself is very valuable. She's just decided it's time for the food.
What? Who?
Hello, Kaiji-kun. It's Reina.
I guess correct, yes!
Are you busy with work right now?
Oh God, yeah, really busy. My throat really hurts. Just when I thought I'd get a break because of the chapter's over, it's already time for the next one.
How's Kaijin? Busy?
Yeah, he's moping.
I can hear you, you know. Must be nice having a wrap-up party. I want to go too!
You can come if you get some character art for yourself. Rika, that's a secret.
Oh, sorry about that, Kaiji-kun. Anyways, during the current chapter, Kaiji-kun, didn't you, die? We were just talking about who the culprit might be.
Basically, we're deadlocked on whether it was people or Yashiro-sama's curse that killed you.
I'm gonna go with Reina.
I'm really sorry, even though you're busy with reviewing the script. Kaiji-kun, which do you think it was?
It's obvious, isn't it?
Which?
Isn't it? Both of them! Ha ha! Targeted by suspicious people from the village, and then cursed by some strange Yashiro-sama on top of that. It's both humans and a curse! That's what I was gonna say. Everybody's just picking on me.
So very, very pitiful. Next time I'll pat you on the head for you.
Well then. I mean, technically that would be true, even if it was solely a curse. The people are still being possessed, so technically, if you go with the curse route, it's both no matter how you slice it. Versus if it's just the people, that is very possible that there is no god involved or anything. In the end, the opinion's still split, huh? I'll think this over again. We might have missed something.
Well then, please look forward to the next release, Higurashi When They Cry Watsunagashi.
That's the festival. Oh good, we're done I think. Oh look at there's cute Reina, there's the blocking, and the panning, and the zooming, and all of that jazz. Are we done? Please tell me we're done. Please. Enjoy Oni Kakushi's after party. Oh god. I'll pop back in a second. I want to check the achievements real quick to see if there's something I missed. Be back in a second. I'm also going to rest my throat a little bit. Be back in a second. Alright, I'm back. And yeah, it's about as much as I feared. It felt like they were implying that there was a possible alternate ending with this one. Because, as Mion was saying, that's how these games work with the alternate routes and such. But I feel like that isn't an option here. Maybe. So yeah, as I feared, there is only one achievement left, which is reading all the tips. I'm not doing that now, most certainly, especially with my throat, and I already know that they're kind of long in their own right. Not too long, but there's a good chunk of stuff there. So, I'm thinking I'll save that for a bonus episode. We'll read all of the whatchamacallits, tips and tricks and such. Split personality. At the 7th... Oh. That's when she was stalking us. Oh, good. Not feeling so hot. Well, yeah. Threat. So yeah, that will most likely... it'll be a bonus episode, so technically this one's the finale. But that will truly be the end of the... this game. Of Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 1. Only... God, it's the Ogre Village one, right? Well, it might be here at the title. Or not. Onigafuki? Something to that effect. So yeah, continue, start, extras. So yeah, this is the finale. Let me know in the comments of this one, or the next one, I suppose, the bonus episode, if you would like to see... I've said this several times, but no one really likes to... There's a couple that have people that have left comments, and I really appreciate it when people do. I look forward to hearing what people like and think and all that. It makes me happy to see people talking and all that. So, but anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I just hope I don't scare people, because I talk too much. That is my biggest worry. I like to try to converse with people, but at the same time, I'm also afraid I'll scare them off. I don't mean to. I just get overexcited and all that, and then I talk too much. I feel bad. Oh, God. Anyways, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see Chapter 2 sooner rather than later. If it's sooner, then maybe sometime this summer. We'll pick it back up relatively soon afterwards. There's going to be a bit of a break with May, probably, because of other things going on. And then I think I'm going to pick up another visual novel that I'm in the middle of. Probably, let's see. Well, I'm going to pick Shuffle back up again because it's been long enough for people to vote or not on a route. We're continuing with Clannad. We're continuing with... Well, okay. I'll probably pick the House in Fata Morgana back up after I finish the final ending of How to Date an Entity and Survive. So let's see. Shuffle, Clannad... House of Fata Morgana. I just said it and I forgot it immediately. That's how stupid my brain is. So that's 3. I wanted to pick back up She is a Mermaid because I was really looking forward to it, and then I put it on a break, and I was in the middle of so many other things. So I'm thinking throughout the summer I'm going to try to get through that game. And I'll probably pick that back up after I hit the next split point in Shuffle, where there's another voting option to which girl do we want to go after, etc. So I'll probably be going back and forth between those 3 to 4 visual novels. Otherwise, if people want to see Chapter 2, the second game, sooner rather than later... I have up to either 5 or 6. I don't think I have 7 yet. I'll pick up the next game sooner rather than later if people want me to. And maybe I'll put the brakes on one of those other ones or something. We'll see. Then I have a lot of other visual novels I was going to possibly start, or that I started and would like to resume, like... back when I did the voting one for my first year of Valentine's. One of them was Magikoi. I'm looking forward to because it seems really funny. And then there's a few other ones I want to pick up. Like, I've played the first 2 games of Danganronpa, and I've seen the animes, but I
never got around to playing Despair Girls or 3. I have them. I got a little Danganronpa out, and then I don't like on-rail shooter games, so I was like, okay, I'm going to take a little break before I pick up Despair Girls. But at the same time, it's been a while, and I loved that series so much, and I did that before I started YouTubing, like a year or two before, I think. So I'd be happy to play through them on the channel. I guess that's a bit of a spoiler. I was intending on putting them in a voting thing this Valentine's Day, but there was too many things going on. So I might pick that back. I might pick that up in October. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to structure things. But most likely we'll start Chapter 2 of this, Higurashi, in October for the Halloween-y spooky season, if I don't pick it back up in the summer. So let me know your thoughts on all that. If you'd like it sooner rather than later, I'll pick it up ASAP as soon as possible. First week of June, after May's events have been done and over with. I need to focus on just that, so I'm not doing too much at once. And then, especially because I'll have visual novels going while that's happening. So, but first week of June, if people want to see Higurashi Chapter 2 sooner rather than later, I'll be happy to pick it up right then and there, or maybe a little later in the summer. Otherwise, expect it October 2025. Chapter 2, Watanagashi, which is the name of the festival, so that's curious. So we'll see how things play out from there. And I'm looking forward to this. I really enjoyed this game. I had a lot of fun reading through it and stuff. It was very interesting and entertaining, and it's been a very long time since I've seen the anime. Over 10 years. I think I was in high school when I watched that. So I don't know how it compares to the visual novels, and then 2, like, how different things are. And 2, it has been a long time, so I don't remember a lot of things. But it was certainly very entertaining and interesting to pick this up. It was slow at first because of the whole school life business. I was like, blah, blah. When's the blood and gore and the fingers and the eyeballs and all that stuff flying around? And then then it just came out of nowhere and smacked us across the head when it did happen. So I enjoyed it a lot. I had a lot of fun reading through this. I'm looking forward to picking up Chapter 2 as soon as possible. I'm on board. If you guys and gals are on board. So, otherwise, yeah, okay. So, I should end it here instead of rambling on. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series. I certainly did, as I just said. So, until next time, I guess it's the bonus episode or Chapter 2. We'll be picking back up whenever that is. So, until then, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day and or evening, week, month, year, and the time of your life. Until next time, whether it's this or whatever it is I may do, I hope to see you then. Farewell, and until then, crap. I was on a roll, I got it! No! Okay, until next time, whatever it is I may do, I hope to see you then. Farewell!